everybody. Abby Lee Miller here. I met a young lady today named Abby, A-B-B-Y, and she's really Abigail. So we had this whole conversation, and I told her that I was named, are you ready? After the most beautiful girl my dad ever dated, which you all know is not my mother's name. Yes. So how did that come to be? Well, my mom was Catholic. She went to Catholic high school or Catholic grade school, Catholic middle school her whole life, right? And then my dad was Presbyterian, but where he lived in a town in Pittsburgh, he lived right next door to the priest house, which for those of you that are Catholic know, that's where the priests live that work at that specific church nearby. Anyway, my mom and dad got married very late in life. And my dad was one of 6 children. And his dad had passed away. And then when his mom died, she left letters for each one of her 6 children. And in my dad's letter, it said, I hope you marry that nice Marion McKay from Florida. So that's why they got married. And my mom lived in Miami, and I'm going to talk about her another time, but she was very successful after World War II, opening her own studio at 18 and making a complete business out of it. She was like a pioneer back in those days. Anyway, I don't mean a pioneer like with a pilgrim hat on and a pitchfork walking through the woods. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean just as a woman in general in 1945 to open your own business at that young age. And her mom and her were obviously 2 peas in a pod, so close, because my mom was an only child. So my mom's mom, my grandmother, who I never got to meet, she handled all the books and all the kids paying for their tuition and booking all the shows that my mom's students used to do on Miami Beach at all the big hotels. Anyway, she passed away from breast cancer, and my mother was just completely devastated and out of sorts. And, it's like losing your right hand. So my mom and dad decided to get married, and they were 36 at the time. And then they had me 2 years later at 38. So my mom, being Catholic, it was so very important to her to pick the godmother and the godfather and who was going to stand from them and at the wedding and all this and all that. So she picked all those people. And my dad was like, why did you pick that person? They're always drunk. Why did you pick that person? They're cheap. They're not going to buy her anything. Why did you pick that person? Blah, blah, blah. So my mother just got fed up with the whole thing and said, okay, fine. You can name her or name the child. You can name the child. That's fine. Figuring that it was going to be a boy and it would be named after my dad anyway, because my mom was just sure that she was going to have a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby boy. Ta-da! And this dark-haired child, I had really dark hair and it was thick and good, came out, and they handed me to her, and she was like, this is not my baby. Somebody screwed up. And then my dad obviously said, we'll name her after you and she'll be Marion. My mom was like, no, I kind of like that Abigail thing. So Abigail Lee Miller it was. My mom is Marion Lorraine McKay. So that was an L middle name. And my dad is George Lamar Miller. So that's an L name. And one of my mother's favorites in Florida at her studios for many, many years was a woman named Linda Lee Cravey. So my mom took the Lee, and there you have it. Abigail Lee Miller, a star was born. So if you have any more questions about my name, you know what to do. Email me at info@abbyleedancecompany.com. They come right to me, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Check out the website, abbyleedancecompany.com. We're also available in the UK. We have a store there. And if you're in LA, please stop by on Santa Monica Boulevard to visit us. Yes. And what else are we supposed to do? Subscribe, turn your notifications on, like, all that jazz. That's how I was named Abigail Lee. And the whole Abby Lee, they just called me Abby or Ab all the time. So Abby Lee Dance Company fit. And I never meant it to be a company like a corporation, but a company like an ensemble or a group, a touring troupe. So the Abbey Lee Dance Company was born in 1980. 1980. Can you believe that? But I was very, very young. We'll talk about that next time. All right. See ya.